Hello, hi everyone. In this video I would like to show you how to do performance analytics. First of all, what you need to do is to have an account in Developer Service Now. It's as simple creating a kind of Facebook account. You just log in with your email, just provide a password, you're gonna have your account, and then you have all the training available. Here when you click on learning training, you're gonna get to this page. So I advise you to go to from basic training to kind of complicated, but overall I would say most of the training is doable. There is no developer knowledge you need, only for a few of them. It's just in the beginning to get started and then to get used to the platform ServiceNow. So I'm in the part here, reporting analytics, data visualization, and performance analytics. So I click on that and I have the whole training here available. So what is performance analytics? Performance analytics is basically visualizing, analyzing data over a certain period of time. So if you want to see, for example, specific data like how many incoming requests that you received over a certain period, and you would like to see per month, for example, from January 2019 to today, you want to see how many requests you have received, and you can see that in a more graphical way. So if I want to show you the graphic how it looks like, this is not the best example that I have. I also create another image and some other kind of tutorial. I will explain you what is it a little bit later. And here I'm going to just zoom in and show you the image that I have here. So this is Analytics Hub. So that you're going to get when you're in ServiceNow. You have a link called Analytics Hub, and once you have your you can see the result at that section or that area. So here I created before for the Need IT application every critical incidents per month. So for March I have 43, and the period is from July 2018 to March 2019. And let me just, I think it's too much. Okay. So I have here the period, and also here what we call the frequency. This is very important to notice that word, the frequency for which the result we are actually viewing it. So monthly result for a period from July to March 2019. And this part what we call is the breakdown, and these are breakdown elements. So I break down for the March, this is a score 43 critical incidents for that month, and divided by request type. So human resource 18, facilities 17, and I guess here legal 8. So this is the breakdown, and you have the graphical representation for that result. If you don't want to see the breakdown, all you need to do is to click on this arrow. Is going to show you the result in a form of just one single line, and the graphical line for the whole period from July to March 2019, and not this breakdown with 3 different colors lines. So this is the result that we want to have. So how we can get this result, that's what we are going to see. Before getting into too much, I go to ServiceNow and I start to create different elements in order to achieve the result. I'm going to explain what I'm going to create and how we're gonna get this result differently, not by reading but just by explaining what I have prepared here. So as you know, in ServiceNow you have what we call a lot of tables. Okay, you can create tables in ServiceNow. You have a huge amount of list of records, and you have some other elements that you also can create. So those have different functions, different work than the table. We have what we call indicator sources, indicators, breakdown, and breakdown sources, also data collector. Those are the elements that we have to have in order to have this result we have seen here. So the indicator source, what is it? Indicator source is basically refined data from the table that we have before in our ServiceNow, and we're going to refine that data and create another table. So in order to do that, we have to first say to indicator source which table we have to choose, what is the condition. So I have here an need IT critical priority monthly. So I'm going to select as a condition priority is going to be is priority equal to critical, and there is a condition also which is the I want the data per month. That's what we want for March 43. So we have to also mention when needed is equal per month. That's the data that we want to refine from this table, create another table. And also we have to mention what is the valid for frequency. It's kind of very delicate, this one, because valid for frequency is like you choose weekly or monthly or daily, how often this result will be collected from the table, and this information is equal to, if you choose for valid frequency for the indicator source, which is different when you set the condition when needed is monthly. There are two type of set the frequency. So the valid for frequency is just the data for indicator source is valid monthly, so that you can have here, this is the valid for frequency. So if you put weekly here, valid for frequency, and you're taking data for the month, what will happen, you will have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, for example, and for the month of March you have 43 as a result. So for the whole month of March you will have one single line, horizontal line, because the monthly result is going to be the same and it will be showing per week, like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and it will have an horizontal line. So that's not what we want. So when we mention what is the valid for frequency when we create our indicator source, it should be the same as the condition where if you want the data for a certain period. That's something important to notice, also to understand. And we have also what we call indicators. Indicators basically are returning a result by using an indicator source, which is our refined data. This one is going to return the result, what we call the score, which is 43. So we have here the list of records which refined with critical incidents. We have 43 records. So it's going to just calculate how the sum. So not the sum. It's going to count how many critical incidents. But it's not the only function we can have. We can have sum. We can calculate average. So we can have different functions. So the indicator is basically, we are telling to the indicator which indicator source you have to use, and for which frequency. It's important as well to define the frequency here. If you define for the indicator the frequency weekly, it will give you only a list of choices of indicator source which were created for on weekly basis, like not this condition but valid for frequency condition, which is weekly. If you choose monthly, it will show only the indicator code sources set up for valid for frequency, which is monthly. So it's highly important to, if you set up this indicator source for the valid frequency for a month, you have to put here the indicator's month in order to choose that indicator. That's all you need to know for this. And here another interesting thing is the breakdown sources. How we create the breakdown source is very simple. When we are creating the breakdown sources, we are going to tell to the which indicator we have to choose and what is the breakdown. Basically what we are doing here is taking this result like 43, and we are going to break down by request type, which is creating a table actually. So it is, we have for human resource 18, facilities 17, and so on. So we are creating a table out of a result that we have here 43, and for out of 43, and is creating another table. And the way we do, we're gonna just mention what is the indicator we have to use and what is the breakdown we have to use, and how, for which period we like to collect data for the last 7 days, 90 days, so on. So now we have just see so how to say how this thing works. And it's not really doing the job, is only we are defining them. We are defining an indicator source and all the conditions, what is the period, what is the valid for frequency. Same goes for indicators, same goes for breakdown sources, same goes for everything that we have here. We are just defining those elements, those modules, I would say, in ServiceNow. But in order to have this result, we have to collect data. We have to use them to collect data that we want this result and this graph and everything. For that, we have to create what we call a job in a data collector, and we have to tell to the job what is the indicator we are going to use. We are going to tell, we are going to use indicator 1. Sorry, I wrote indicators, but a job can have multiple indicators, but here one indicator by line. So the job, you tell them this is the indicator I'm going to use, and as you can see before, everything is related in between them. They have a relation, and you are going to also tell to the job, to the data collector, or the what is the period. I told July 2018 to March 2019. And once you do that, once you set that thing, and you are going to execute the job, and it's going to collect the data. And once you collect the data, you can visualize in a more graphical way, and also have some insight after. So in order to visualize this, the analytic hub, all you need to do is to click on go to your indicator, what we call automated indicator, and then click on the link or visualize analytic hub. So you are going to get this page. So here it was just theoretical, but it's a summary. Basically, if you go here, all this thing I summarized, like create indicator source, creating indicator source, exercise indicator, automating breakdowns, data collectors. So we have a lot of blocks of informations that you are going to read, and it can be difficult. Maybe if you have some more visual and then see what is the relation in between them, it's going to be much more easier to grasp, to get the information easier, and also to understand. So all you need to know is to understand what is the relation between tables, indicator source, indicators, breakdown sources, and also data collector, what they are doing, how we define what is important to know for each element here, and how we can achieve this result. So now I'm going to directly start to create these things, and then see what we can have. So I'm not going to create critical, priority, monthly. I'm going to do a different exercise. Let's say I want to see all the facilities per month over a certain amount of period, and I would like to break down that by requested type. Okay, no, requested for some person. So I'm here, so it's expired. I'm going to connect again. Okay, it's coming. Okay, first thing, I'm going to create the indicator source. Click on indicator source, is under Performance Analytics. I click on new, and indicator source, I'm going to give need IT dot facilities monthly. I'm going to keep that description same, put monthly here. My table, it's need IT, and my conditions. My conditions, as you know, I want requested type, and it's going to be facilities. I'm going to click on end, and it's going to be when needed. It's monthly. So this is the collection of the data, and this is the valid for frequency, which is here, monthly, show the result monthly. So that's one thing. I submit. So I created. Let's check if I have it. So I have it. Now I want to create our indicators. It's called automated indicators. So I click on new and need IT. I'm going to change a little bit, put this specific character to make the difference between the indicator source and the indicator, automated indicator. So monthly, paste that, monthly. Here is the unit. We don't have a specific unit. If you click on here, you can see here we have days, hours, so those are different units. It depends what result you want to see. The precision is going to be 0. Value when nil is going to be also 0, but before I'm going to choose my source, which is this one. So here we have the function aggregate count and value when nil, which means if the result is returning 0, put 0. I know it's just the properties that we have here. We have to put this thing, otherwise it won't work. And I'm going to submit it, have it. Let's check. Here we go, we have it. Now I'm going to create the breakdown, create new. So this is the breakdown wizard. So here we are choosing an indicator. If I get back to my image, I create an indicator source, I create an automated indicators, and now I'm creating the breakdown source from the wizard, and I'm choosing an indicator. Okay, so if I type need IT, I have my indicator with the special character I mentioned. So that's why it's important to differentiate when you want to create the indicator source and indicator, have the different wording or typing here, format, or I don't know, the standard. Here requested for, that's the result I want to see. That's a breakdown. So it's putting me breakdown analytics owner, breakdown mapping automatically, the table dot requested for. That's what it's doing here, and we can link to other indicators that I've created for training purposes, but I'm not going to select that. Next, I'm going to have the result for the last 90 days, and I click on apply. It should have this tick for everything. Is there? Perfect. So at this point, I created the indicator source, indicators, and the breakdown. So all is ready. Now I'm going to create the job in the data collector and telling the period which indicator you have to choose, and I'm going to run that job in order to collect the data and later visualize this data in this form, so the graphics and all these things. So let's do that. So for that, you need to just type jobs, and it's under data collector. You click on that and you click on new and give a name, need IT monthly. I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm not going to look on relative as operator. I'm going to choose fixed for now, and I'm going to choose, let's say December, no, let's say January, and I will put 31st of March. Okay, and I chose fixed in order to choose a fixed date. And you have also another thing called relative, and I have to explain it a little bit later. That one is a bit different, how we can select the date. For now we're going to choose fixed and then go for this fixed date, and I'm going to run on demand. It's not going to run this job every day, but whenever I want, whenever I would like to run, I'm going to collect the scores, so the numbers that we want. So it's created. And one more thing I forgot is I have to go back and I go to the indicator, and I'm going to select which indicator I want to use. If I type need, it should show me the indicator, and it's there. I'm going to push it here, save it. I have it. Great. So now I have to execute, and in my job log I will see if it was collected or not, if the result were done or not. So I execute now. So it's saying data collection job need IT monthly has been started. So now if I look at this back again, we are at this point. We created our job and we are running the job to collect the data. So I'm going to refresh a little bit. So if I go to job log, collected 9. Okay. Yeah, this is just for 2 months. So let's say I'm gonna put some period from August, otherwise it's not very interesting. So update monthly. I'm gonna delete this. Oh no, the job log, I don't want this job log. And I'm gonna execute now. I just extended the period for another one. Let's refresh. So I have much more, and let's see how the result is looking in our analytics hub. So in order to open our analytics hub, please click on indicator source, and then again to the automated indicator, and now show analytics hub. You click on that, it will open the result. So we have here need IT facilities per month, 58 for the month of March, and we have the graphical representation for the whole month of March. And you can as well change to like this one. I like it more. So we have for the whole period from August to March and monthly. And there are some other information here like average 53, maximum, medium. So this kind of calculation, the sum, and some of the thing I did not yet understood. For example, the change and this kind of thing. So here you can as well make it for like breakdown. I want to see who did what. So Joy employee 22, unknown user 36 for the month of March. So, and here we have for the whole period who had more and how it's going. So if you don't want to see for the breakdown, all you need to do is click on here. So that's how you can have your performance analytics, and how you can create using these key elements, indicator sources, indicators, by defining these key elements. And once you know how this thing works, you can create any sort of table, any sort of result that you want to visualize, if you understand what is the relation in between them, how this thing works. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Bye.